This is my Polish AKM underfolder that I built from a kit. This is the left hand side. The radome has this little circle right here with the 11 in it. That's the code for the radome factory. You see I got a 20 round magazine on it, and it's a underfolder. This is the ejection port side of my Polish AKM. Right, the thing I wanted to show you here is this lever here is the selector lever, and it's also the safety. So when it's up and over the ejection port, that's on safe. And normally a full auto will have a notch here in the middle and then one down here, and then on a semi-auto the thing just comes all the way down like that. So you're either on safe or you're on semi-automatic. And this is the magazine release here. You just push that in, and like every AK mag, it just rocks in with that groove on the lip there. In order for a kit rifle to be compliant with 922R, there's 16 parts to the AK, and you have to have at least 6 of them made in America. In this case, the receiver is a Eubanks, and it's made in America. The pistol grip is made in America, and there's 3 fire control pieces in here, and they count as 3 parts in US made. And then also I have this AK-74 style muzzle brake on it. This is my Polish Tantal AK-74. It came with 2 magazines. It came with the black plastic one that's in it right now, and it came with this metal one. And there's other ones on the market. This is a Bulgarian one. It did come with the bipod here. You can see it's got the rear wire folding stock like the East German version of the AKs. This is the other side of the AK-74 Tantal, Polish. And just like my AKM, you can see right there that little oval with the 11 in it. That means the radome factory in Poland. Has nice new furniture, excellent parkerization. It's all very tight, but I will say none of the numbers match. When you're adjusting the windage and elevation, you can do both operations from the front sight post. You see that lug right there under the front sight, and there's a clamp that goes on there, and you can screw that thing back and forth. It'll slide the whole assembly with the front sight post, and then you look in there in the front sight post, and it has threads on it, and it screws up and down for elevation. So remember, it's front opposite, rear same. So when you want the bullet to strike lower, you move the front sight post up. When you want it to strike to the left, you move the front sight to the right. Today I'm going to show you how to disassemble and assemble the AKM series of rifle. So this will cover AK-47, AKM, AK-74. Like any rifle, before you disassemble, you need to make sure that it's unloaded. With the AK, you take the magazine out. Because the safety blocks the bolt, you can't inspect the chamber with it on safe, so you have to take it off safe and pull the bolt back and ensure that the chamber is clear. The hammer has to be locked down when you remove the bolt carrier, so it being cocked like that, that's exactly what you want. And you want to flip it up here. You have this button on the back of the rear receiver cover. You want to push it in, and you'll see the whole rear receiver cover will swing up. It has a little lip right there that it's held onto. And then you want to push this spring in and pull it out. Now you're going to take the bolt carrier and pull the whole thing back, and the entire assembly along with the bolt on the bottom will pull out. And with this bolt, you push it back and rotate it counterclockwise, and it pulls out like that. Then you'd want to clean your bolt and your carrier. Then the last thing you want to do is to take your gas tube off. The AK has a lever right here, and the AKM has one down here on the side. but they're basically the same. You want to rotate it up, and then the gas tube simply detaches like that. The last thing that you might want to disassemble for cleaning is if you have a muzzle brake or a muzzle compensator, then you want to take that off. AKs are threaded backwards, so instead of lefty-loosey, it's righty-loosey. So you push in this little detent pin right here, and then you're going to unscrew it all the way down. And then when you want to put it back on, you just screw it back on and make sure that that hole right there catches the pin. To reassemble, it's exactly the opposite. First we're going to put on the gas tube. You take the front of the gas tube here, you pop it on, and then it slides down in its little track. Then you're going to lock it on like that. When you put the bolt back into the bolt carrier, you put goes in the hole right there, and then you bring it all the way back and you rotate it clockwise like that, and then it slides forward. And you can see on here on the bottom of the bolt where that's what rides on the hammer and recocks the hammer after each shot. So when you put it in, you want the bolt all the way forward and with the bottom flush like that. So don't let it rotate when you try to put it in. You put that plunger in there, you're going to push it down. You can feel the hammer going down, and it just slides forward like that, and it's in there on the rails. The one thing a lot of people struggle with the AKs is getting the spring in and getting this cover back on. Here's a trick I learned in the Army. You push it in, and instead of letting it go in its groove like it's supposed to be, you take it to the back and you just put it on the lip right there. And then when you put this receiver cover on, you put it on the lip, and you want to hold it down with a little bit of force because you don't want it to pop off. And you can see right here it hasn't engaged, and so then you just want to pull the bolt carrier group back, and it's going to pop that plug into place like that. You can see now it's locked like it's supposed to be. And that completes the assembly of the AKM series, and like I said, it's exactly the same for all the whole family of weapons.